Okay, you see the signs. Okay, all right. Oh, we're in that time. Okay, oh, the scripture says I'm supposed to be catching this kind of. Okay, let me just deal with it, man. We're too close for BSing, man. Okay, we're too close to this thing, coming to its fruition for Jake to be, walking around in partying and bullshit, man. Okay, so getting back onto the scriptures, it says, cleave unto him, cleave unto the Lord, okay, and depart not away, so thou mayest be increased to the last end. So this is all about the last end. So you might lose a little bit here, but when you're going to gain within the kingdom, that's going to be the shit, man. That's going to be all right. Okay, so back within the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter, and the 9th verse, it says, for I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as gold is refined. Okay, and I shall try them as gold is tried. How is gold tried? Gold is tried by way of fire, man. Okay, so the adversity that cometh upon Jake, that's the cleansing, that's the Most High purifying you like gold. Here it is, Jake. Jake loves Isaiah 4:1, but see, to get Isaiah 4:1, you're going to go through the purification, so you're going to be desired like Isaiah 4:1 says you're going to be desired, man, with all them 7 women coming, which is a complete number of women coming, and they all, what's the word? They all adore you, man. But you got to be, to get that spirit upon you, you got to be purified, man. Just like gold, if you got gold ore, all right, or iron ore, it's not useful, or it's not desired right up until you take all of them impurities out, and that's gonna be a damn good way of thinking about it. Because hey, when that gold, it's still valuable. Okay, it's still got the goods in there, but you still gotta put that hell upon it before it becomes, something a man will kill for. All right. So back within the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter, and the 9th verse, it says, I'll bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as gold is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call upon my... See, it says, hey, the scripture says, I shall try them as gold is refined, right, and as silver is refined, okay, which alludes to what? To adversities, right? And it says, and they shall call upon my name. Let's step back a little bit there and examine what's being said, the magnitude of what's being said right there, okay? So the Most High effectively said, look, these are going to be the bums, okay? These are going to be dudes that live day to day, man, okay? They living basic lives, man, but they're going to call upon the name of the Lord, man. All right, which leads me to come to one conclusion: them dudes out there, they're living the frivolous lifestyle, like in the Final 7 and all of the IUIC craziness. They're living that so-called frivolous lifestyle. They're so-called doing all right, okay? But guess what? They ain't calling up on the name of the Lord. And that goes back to the fact that they ain't catching hell. Why? Because the Lord ain't dealing with them. Why? Because they ain't of the elect. Because their men of the elect was going to be purified within this time, man. So they ain't going through the purification, right? Because why? Because they got their hand and their heart within the society, man. Their hand and their heart is within the society of Esau, okay? And they're going to be destroyed just as long as Esau said. That's why the scripture says, ye are of your father the devil, because you're just a nigga, okay? And Esau is the ultimate nigga. Ye are of your father the devil, the lust of your father you do. What's Esau's ultimate lust? That these Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans be destroyed. And Jake will do the same thing to their own people, man. They go out there and sell all kind of drugs within their neighborhoods, man. That's something Esau would do, man. Okay? They'll go out there and destroy their own communities. That's something Esau would do, man. And more principally, you got dudes that come up against his word, man. That's something definitely Esau would do. But see, he ain't gonna do that right now because, hey, Jake will do it to the greatest extent. Hey, Jake will infiltrate, okay, and disseminate, man. That's what Jake will do. He will infiltrate and break down the whole group, man. You got all kind of cats try to do that within the past, man. But see, the scripture talk about how if it were possible to deceive the very elect, because it ain't possible to deceive the very elect. Here it is, you might have made some guy stumble off because you came out with some flat earth doctrine, okay, which was created by Esau. But who was the people that were pushing this in this truth? It was Jake, man. Okay, it was Jake putting up videos talking about the earth is flat and so on and so forth, going crazy, man. Okay, going absolutely crazy, all right? But it was Jake that was doing that because why? Because they're of the lust of their father. That's what they're going to do, man. Okay? They're going to do what Master say, and that's to come up against, principally to come up against this word, man. Okay? It's principally to come up against this word because Esau don't like the fact we getting into the scripture. In fact, let me get that within the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. Esau don't like the fact we be getting into these scriptures, man, because he knows this is really pretty much the end of his society, man. Okay? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him, and made no account of his labors, and when they shall see it, they shall be troubled. So what they gonna see? What? They gonna see the men of the Lord rising up, saying, "Oh look, this the people of the Lord. This is what's gonna be coming to your future right here, right quick. Okay, this is your future. okay, your future is to go into captivity. See, Esau don't like that. That's bad news for him. He can't carry on building and building and building and setting up generations and generations of wealth. He can't do that no more. Okay? And that's what's being manifested, right, on a global scale through the YouTube, okay, through the internet. That's being manifested on a global scale to the end that Esau don't really want this truth coming out here, man. We don't want this truth coming out here. But we're seeing, if we see all of that, that's the spiritual side of it. That's called spiritual genocide. But we're going to read through the physical genocide that Esau is pushing out throughout the four corners of the earth to destroy you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Okay? So back within this article, right here, I'll start from where I left off. It says, genocide is a word which brings to mind images of large-scale ethnic cleansing, right, mass graves, right, like those created of Germany's Nazis and Bosnian Serbs. Now we know through the history and through the informations, okay, that ultimately that thing that they said that happened out there within Nazi Germany, that didn't happen, man. That was falsified. Okay, that was falsified to push forth that the agenda of the so-called Jews that live within the land of Israel right now, which are not the real Jews. Those are Edomites, those Amalekites. Okay, they were going to push forth their agenda of being the people of the Lord, man. Okay, which is not true. Okay, but getting back onto the point, it says, and some acts of genocide, right? However, are slower, more subtle, and a deal more insidious. Okay, so let's read that again and examine it and go through it within the scriptures, man. Okay, so starting from the top, it says genocide is a word, right, which may bring forth to mind large-scale ethnic cleansing and mass graves. Okay, it says, but some acts of genocides, however, are slower, more subtle, and a good deal more insidious, man. Okay. Right, so it goes on to say, like the acts the United States carries out, right, against its black and brown skinned population, man. Okay, so you're talking about a genocide, all right, and you see these mass graves and images come to mind of things that really didn't even happen, things that were documented as having happened, but you have actual historians and scientists that went into it and looked into it and said, look, how can this be? Because that doesn't add up with that. Okay. Like the fact that when you go out there into them so-called prison camps, the doors open a certain way and so on and so forth, which I'm not going to get into the information's out there on the YouTube, okay? But pretty much, you talk about the genocide. Well, really, that's being carried out amidst the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, but it's being carried out on a more subtle state, okay? So we're going to get into the scriptures right quick. We start off within the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, and I'll get back onto the article in a second. Psalms, the 83rd chapter, okay. Okay, so this is the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. And I'll start from the top. Is it 83? Okay, yeah, Psalms 83 and 1. It says, keep thou not silence, O Yahweh, right? Hold not thy peace, okay? Be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, right? And they that hate thee have lifted up their heads, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones, and they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted thy hidden ones. Okay, so crafty counsel has been taken, right, into the complete destruction of the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, so you got Planned Parenthood, you got drugs, you got hip hop, because hip hop was a means of venting frustration against the so-called oppressor, all right, of which really that's just the rod of the Most High's correction. Okay, but hip hop was set up as a means of venting Jake's frustration out there on the mainstream. Okay, but now that's just used as an instrument of destroying the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. That's just a weapon that Esau uses, man. That's why you got it to where when you listen to that music, it's about, look, sleep with your, I'll sleep with your man's wife, and I'm gonna sleep with your wife, this, that, and the third. You go, oh, let's go kill, I'm gonna kill you, and this, that, and the third. That's all that's within Jake's music, man. It's just everything that's contrary to the scriptures. Okay, it's everything that's contrary to the scriptures. Why do they push that forth? Because why? Because it destroys the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. That's why the article went into the fact that it says the word that they used was crafty. Okay, they're using more crafty means of destroying the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now they get it to where they destroy themselves, man. Okay, which I'll hand it to them because it's successful, man. Okay, because these people are completely destroyed, man. Okay, they're completely destroyed. Here it is, Jake. All right, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans thinks it's a cultural thing to be out there on the streets, right, selling drugs, right, killing one another, right, and sleeping with each other's women, man. Okay, that's black culture, right? Okay, but that's been set up by the ultimate nigga, right? The original nigga, which was the so-called white man, okay, right, who infiltrated by way of the so-called Jews, the so-called music industry, and they perpetuated that. But see, the scripture also said that they have taken crafty counsel, which lines up with what they have said. Because why? Because the ultimate end goal is destroy the whole house of Israel from being a people. In fact, I think it goes into that. It says, and they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. Let's read it again, because hey, that ties in exactly what the article said. Okay, right? And they said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay, for they have consulted together with one consent. They're confederate against thee. It says the tabernacles of Edom, of Ishmael, of Moab, of the Hagarenes, Cabal, Ammon, Amalek, right, Philistines, and Tyre. Okay, and Usher is also joined with them. So all of them different nations, but principally Esau, because he's the one that rules the earth right now. Okay, but all of them nations, they have consulted they've taken crafty counsel to execute this judgment, right? They execute the ethnic cleansing that really the Most High has prescribed. Because when you go into the book of, let me go to the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, all right? But we read that within the book of Ezekiel, Zechariah, the 14th, the 13th chapter on the 8th verse. That's a form of ethnic cleansing right there. But the Most High is using his rod of correction, which is Esau, and Esau is carrying out what's known as ethnic cleansing, as genocide right within the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American communities, man. Okay, so I had I said, what scripture did I say I was gonna get now? Jeremiah the 30th chapter. Okay, so the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter on the 7th verse, it says, alas, brother, well, let's read up a little bit. So this is Jeremiah 30:3. So it says, for lo, the days come, saith the Lord, I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I'll cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers. So we're living in those days right now where the Lord's basically raising up his people, putting that spirit within them to get into the scriptures, man. Okay, remembering their heritage, remembering who they are. Okay, remembering, hey, simple thing like remembering the Lord's name, man. That's an important factor within the grand scheme of things, man. Okay, that's an important factor within the grand scheme of things. But the Lord's returning that spirit unto Jake. Okay, so it says here, Jeremiah 30:3, it says, for lo, the days come that saith the Lord, when I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And it says, and these shall be the words, and these are the words the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. It says, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a trembling of fear. And why is there a trembling of fear? Because Esau is going to be coming down heavy to execute his so-called the fullness of his ethnic cleansing. Because here it is, just like how you had it within Egypt, they had perceived after the time of Joseph, okay, and Israel had increased as a people in terms of number and size. Okay, you had it to where the Hamites, the Egyptians, they perceived that, look, if these people carry on multiplying, they're going to overthrow us. Okay, so they did what? They started putting all kind of hell upon them. Same thing they go out here within the society. Here it is, Esau will go out there, okay, he'll get some, bunch of Jakes, throw them on a boat, okay, and lead them out there into captivity, like the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter and the 9th verse documents, and it also documents the judgment because of that. Okay, here it is, Esau will do all of that. Okay, he'll do all of that, and once he's done with those particular group of people, all right, he'll start talking. He'll start talking on a thing of destroying those people. Because why? Because he's fulfilled the need, right, that he had for those people. His intentions to build up his society using the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans is fulfilled. So what's he gonna do next? What's gonna be the next step with those Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans? Is gonna destroy them, man. Okay. And that's what we're reading about. That's what we're going to be reading about within the scriptures right here. That's what we're going to be reading about, because ultimately this is a game of cat and mouse, man. Okay, here it is. You got Jake. They're the cat. Okay, when they're in power, but Esau is the cat right now, man. Okay, and we're playing the role of the mouse, but see, the Most High is going to flip the script. But before he flips the script, you're going to have it to where a lot of Jake's going to be killed off, man. Okay, within the race riots, within these wars that are coming up on this face. Okay, you're going to have a lot of Jake's being dropped off, man. All right? So back within the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, on the 5th verse, it says, "For thus saith the Lord, okay, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child." So when his trouble is coming upon his place, he's going to be looking like dudes, going to be trembling within there. And we're going to see that within the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. But that's going to be with reference to the war that's going to be coming out upon this place, man. Okay, but here it is. You got it to where this is talking about like the but really it's talking about, it's all the same thing, man. The martial law, the war, you know, that's all the same thing, man. Okay, that's all gonna be taking part. That's all been instituted. That's all been created. Okay, one to destroy Jake, two to implement their so-called new world order, man. Okay, so back within the scriptures in the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, on the 6th verse, it says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child." So when he was seeing the vision, he was like, "Man, God damn it, it's just dude's acting like he's pregnant, man." Okay, he's acting all weak and battered and bruised as if he's travailing with child, man. But see, that's the spirit that the Lord's gonna have it to where that's gonna come up on this place, man. Okay, yeah, but you got these dudes and they be all in the gym and they all walking strong and all of the Most High's gonna remove that spirit from you, man. Okay, you're gonna be as weak as a child within that day, because you're gonna actually ask yourself, how the hell are you gonna get out of this situation? But see, as for the man of the Lord, as the scripture says, okay, knowledge with, let me get that within the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, man. Okay, because there's only one way out of this thing, man. Okay, you're talking about martial law, you're talking about war with Russia, all of that, economic collapse. There's only gonna be one way you're gonna be getting out of that thing, and that's by way of Yahweh Shimi outside, man. Okay. It's gonna be by way of the mercies of the Lord. So this is the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, on the 6th verse. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." So the treasure of the men of the Lord, the thing that's gonna get them. See, here it is. You got dudes. Okay, you tell them, okay, this is what's gonna be happening. You're gonna have an economic collapse. You're gonna have to get war with Russia. Okay, you're gonna have it to where you're gonna have civil unrest, which was what we're reading about principally within the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. Okay, you're gonna have all of those things happening. So that what they start doing, because they start saving up money. Okay, you know, buying cans of beans and so on and so forth, so that they can that's gonna be their treasure that's gonna deliver them in the time of trouble. But see, the Lord's got it to where that ain't gonna deliver you in the time of trouble, man. Only knowledge, wisdom, understanding as contained within these scriptures is gonna deliver you in those times. That's why the scripture says, knowledge, wisdom, understanding shall be the stability of that times. But it also goes on to say, the fear of the Lord is gonna be the treasure, because that's what's gonna be our buying chip, our bargaining chip. Okay, the money that we gonna give, look here, in exchange for being delivered out of that jam that we gonna be in, man. Okay, because we're gonna get hella greasy out here, man. You're gonna get hella greasy out here, man. Okay, so back in the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, and the 7th verse, furthermore, the 6th verse. Okay, it says, "Ask ye now whether a man doth travail with child, right? And wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, and as a woman that travails?" Because the Most High gonna remove that spirit of pride upon these people, man. Especially Esau. Okay, Esau walks with hella pride right now, but see, when he sees his kingdom dropping down, man. Okay, dropping down like autumn leaves. Okay, when he sees that happening, hey, the Lord's gonna have it to where he's gonna be bugged out, man. He's gonna be bugged out. Okay, and we're gonna see that within the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Okay, so it says here, it says, "As a woman in travail, and all faces have turned into paleness," man, because that's gonna be the. See, everybody's got the innate instinct, okay, to want to survive, man. Everybody's got that innate instinct to want to survive. But see, when the Lord brings about this hell upon this place, that spirit is just gonna completely leave you, man. You ain't gonna have no clue on how to survive, man. Okay, and that's why the scripture talks about why do I see every man with his hands on his loin like a woman in travail? Because look, this can be all kind of chaos out here, man. Okay, all right. So let's get back within the scriptures. It says, "Alas, for alas, for that day is great, right? So that none is like it. Even the time of Jacob's trouble, right? But he shall be saved out of it." So ultimately, Jacob is going to be saved out of it. But we know through what we've read within the book of Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, and the 6th verse, okay, how that only the people that fear the Lord is going to be pretty much saved out of it, man. Okay, And who's going to be fearing the Lord? The elect men of the Lord. Why are they going to be fearing the Lord? Because they understand the scriptures. They understand the times they're living. They understand it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. And they understand the only way you're going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble is what? Is to fear the Most High, okay? All right, and do the work of the Most High. That's how you're going to be feared. You're going to be delivered out of that time of trouble, man. Okay? So let's get back within the book of, I said I was going to go to Isaiah the 13th chapter. I'm going to start from the top and I get back onto the ark. Okay, so Isaiah the 13th chapter, and the first verse, it says, the burden of Babylon which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, and exhort the voice unto them, and shake the hand, that every man may go into the gates, that they may go into the gates of the noble. It says, I've commanded my sanctified ones, okay, I've called my mighty ones, all right, even them that rejoice in my highness, okay. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like it's a great noise, a tumultuous people, right? Kingdoms and nations gathered together. So you're talking about paleness and men's spirits failing them and so on and so forth. Well, they're going to be failing them because they're going to have all of these troops gathered together to battle out, man. Okay? And it's going to be it's going to be the greatest war that's ever been. It's going to be the greatest and last war. But because the scripture within the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, it says, turn ye all your pruning hooks into spears and so on and so forth. But after that, they're going to be learning of horticulture, man. Okay, here it is. Esau is supposed to be the top guy when it comes to military or so on and so forth. You got Moab out there. They're supposed to be the top guys. You know, within the Asian Pacific, they're supposed to be the top guys when they talking about their war arsenal and so on and so forth. The Most High is gonna flip that on its head, man. Okay, now they ain't gonna be getting into war within the kingdom. They ain't gonna be getting into the war. Okay, they be getting into growing good food for Jake, because hey, if you ain't got no good food for Jake, there ain't gonna be no business, man. Right? If you ain't got those dainty pleasures that Jake gets into, all right, women, jewelry, gold, right, food and all of that. If you ain't got that, look, we ain't gonna be dealing business with you, and that's how our kingdom's gonna run, man. That's why the scripture talks about how the gates of Judah and the gates of Jerusalem ain't gonna be closed, man.